Well, hello. Welcome to Brother Blades and More. Friends, I know it's been a minute or two since I've been on here. I've had my health issues, and sometimes there's days I just don't feel like getting on here. Doesn't mean I don't love you, just means I don't feel like getting on here. But anyway, today's a good day, so I thought I'd share with you and let you know what's going on. Several weeks ago, I invited Brother Big Jim from the Barlow Brigade to come up and join me at a local event here we call the Barn Sale. There's about 100 vendors there, mainly antiques and collectibles, a few coins, things like that. And I set out my regular wares, my pocket knives, and a few collectibles and things like that. We had a really good sale, and Jim was a great help to me. Man, we even swapped some pocket knives ourselves and got to tell some great stories and meet some wonderful people, and that's what it's all about. And then this past week, Brother Jim came up for a play day, for a trade day, something we do at our kitchen table here. And I think I ended up with 9 of his knives, and he ended up with 8 of mine or something like that. Anyway, we were both satisfied and happy that the day had been a success, and I was just tickled to be able to spend some time with him. He's a wonderful man, a wealth of knowledge, and he knows everybody. So it's good to have him on my side. I count him as a dear friend, and I thank God for him. When he first got here, he showed me this little knife right here, and ended up gifting me with it. It's a little folding knife, very well made. Got a brass frame and good thick steel blade. I think it's a custom-made knife by a fellow by the name of Stan. Oh yeah, here it is, Pakistan. Yeah, no, it's a Pakistani knife, but I'll tell you this, it's a wonderful knife to cut packages with and tape. Oh my. Thank you so much, Brother Jim. I appreciate the gift. Since today is 2 for Tuesday, tell you the truth, I'm not really one of these kind of guys that, I'm not very trendy. I'm kind of old-fashioned, like I've said in the past, and but I felt like I was being left out a little bit, so today I decided to do a 2 for Tuesday. And that was with Big Jim's encouragement. So today I have a couple of knives that aren't worth much at all, but man, you couldn't buy these things off of me for no kind of money. And if you'll give me just a minute of your time, I'd like to show them to you. Here they are. Friends, what we have here is a trinket box. Now this trinket box used to sit on my grandmother's bureau, as she would call it, in her bedroom. And me and my brother always called it a treasure box. And you know what? Since they're all gone now, the contents of that box truly is a treasure. Inside that box lives 2 knives, one belonging to my grandmother and one to my grandfather. My grandmother's name was Ina. We all called her Mammy. And she kept this little, what we now call a multi-tool. Back then, she was just a little knife with a whole bunch of blades. My grandmother used to love to pull out and show it off to folks if they asked about it, especially us kids. Anyway, it's Tang stamp, PIC, stainless Japan. Now, friends, it's not worth much, except all the wonderful, cherished memories we have of Mammy. My grandfather, Czech, he retired from the Chrysler Corporation in Newcastle, Indiana. As long as I can remember, he carried this old Western Barlow with him. Now, as you can see, it's been whittled down quite a bit. Oh, he had a whetstone the size of a brick, and he kept that thing razor sharp. I mean, it was like a scalpel. In fact, he showed me how to sharpen knives on that same stone. I asked him one time where the knife come from, and he told me, he said, one day while I was on the way to work, he said, pulled up to a red light, and this knife was laying there on the curb. It was brand new. Obviously, it had fallen out of somebody's pocket. So my grandfather picked it up, and it lived in his pocket till the day he left this world. Now, I've seen him skin many a catfish and squirrel and rabbit, and even a possum one time for Thanksgiving, but we won't talk about that right now. Anyway, I thought about cleaning it up, but then I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it like it is, because that's the way my grandfather carried it, just like it is. And I wouldn't take anything for either one of those knives right now, to be honest with you. And I thank you for taking time to let me share these things with you. Like I said, they don't mean much to anybody else, but they mean a lot to me. And I can imagine that some of you feel the same way about some little box you have somewhere. Anyway, thanks for letting me share it with you. Just a couple of old heirlooms. You know, I notice as I get older, I want to hold on to things like that so much more tighter than I used to, knowing good and well that one day somebody else will own them. And I only hope that they enjoy them as much as I have. You know, friends, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the encouragement, the endorsements, the shout-outs that you've done to help me grow this channel. Yesterday, I passed 200 subscribers. Now, I used to think that wasn't that big a deal, but you know, what I came to realize is as long as folks were watching, that means God's not through with me yet. And I take great comfort in that. If you wouldn't mind, and you have time, and you think about it, I'd appreciate if you wouldn't mind liking the videos and subscribing, maybe sharing them with your friends. But if none of that, how about just saying a little prayer for me and the channel? You know, I've often told people that prayer is the greatest gift we can give one another, and I still believe that to this day. Anyway, until the next time we have an opportunity to come together, I pray Godspeed, dear friends. Godspeed.